So just by a show of hands, or if you're watching online, you could put a little thumbs up in the comments section. How many of you have heard the phrase ho'oponopono? Wow, so yeah, quite a few in here. For those who may not be aware, ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian practice for reconciliation and forgiveness. And it involves repeating a mantra of, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And by doing this mantra, you are seeking to acknowledge your own responsibility for the negative experiences and ultimately to promote healing and inner peace. The practice is rooted in the belief that individuals create their own reality. That's our third unity principle. It is by our own thoughts, our feelings, our own lenses of, what did we call it last week? I heard you saying it this morning. The weird and wonderfulness of the collective of who we are. That we create that, and by understanding and taking responsibilities for our own feelings and thoughts, that it begins to resolve those internal conflicts, and as we resolve our own internal conflicts, ultimately, it creates the space for those external conflicts to be resolved and ultimately achieve greater harmony. So this has been practiced for a long time, but there was, about 20 years ago, a man by the name of Dr. Hugh Len, he's a practicing psychologist, was introduced to this practice. And he decided that he would experiment working with this with his patients in a mental institution. All of them that he was the overseer of had been deemed criminally insane. And what he discovered is, over a period of time, all of them were healed and ultimately released. And when asked what he had done to have such a startling success rate, he shared that he took responsibility for everything that showed up on his path. He found it inside of himself. Everything that he had railed against and been upset or hurt by out there, he found it in himself and then went through this forgiveness process. And then he also spent time as he read each person's file, looked for that same pain that they had expressed and found it within himself and took responsibility for healing that. And then seeing that patient also being healed as a result. He was obviously very good at it, because a lot of people have practiced, and that seems to be sort of miraculous to be able to have that kind of effect on other people. And yet, if you truly believe and you put all of your intention and efforts into it, I think, as we have said, all things are possible. Forgiveness and compassion are an integral part of doing this shadow work we've been talking about. And when we can create this energy of forgiveness and compassion, it becomes the fuel for our own inner transformation. Several years ago, as I began working with this idea of shadows within us, I was introduced to the importance of connecting with my inner child. And honestly, up until that point, for probably the first 50 years of my adult life, I had never given the thought that I should be communicating with this inner child within me, that it had anything to do. Yes, I had a childhood, but that's long been gone. I've come to understand that this inner child is alive and well within me. And it has a lot more power over how I look at and believe and experience the things going on in my outer world. And I've also come to understand that I can step in now and be the parent to that little Linda in ways that perhaps my parents were not able to fulfill what that little girl needed. I now have the power to fill those needs that didn't get met as a young child. And together, that little Linda and I, we can begin to release those old beliefs that we may have took on when we were very young and when we didn't know any better, but now we can bring a new awareness, help that little child in some ways grow up into the truth and begin to integrate those things. I've also discovered that there is a teenage Linda in there, and she's a little bit more challenging to work with, I've found. She's a little bit more stubborn and not quite so willing to look at anything differently. As I was doing some research on Ho'oponopono, I came across something that moved my heart. And I want to move your hearts this morning. Because it's not enough just to think about this and to ponder your own inner child and what that might look like. It has to be experienced. And the way that it can be experienced in a place that becomes healing and not just revisiting and re-stirring up all those old emotions and reliving them again, but to really be able to see it and embrace it and have compassion for it and to ultimately forgive with an open heart is what begins this transformation process. So, we're going to watch a little video here this morning. You can, and this will be our meditation time. So you can either close your eyes if that's comfortable, that's typically how most people do, or this has some images on the screen. They don't change a lot, but there are some images there. And the words to what is being sung are also on the screen. So you can just watch it, or you can close your eyes and just see if you can't, through the words, connect with that inner child that is within you. However you do it, I just invite you to open your heart and be willing to allow whatever this experience is here to bring to you today to come forward. All right, Nick.
Oh, my little one, I see your pain. You've been waiting, calling my name. I left you alone, I walked away. I'm sorry, I'm here to stay. I'm sorry for the times you cried, for the love and care denied, for not holding you when you were small, for not listening when you called. Please forgive me, my sweet one, for all the hurt, for what I've done. I didn't know, I couldn't see how much you needed love from me. Forgive me now, I understand. I hold your heart within my hand. No more pain, no more fear. I am with you, I am here. Thank you for your love so true, for staying strong, for pushing through, for every dream you held so tight, for never giving up your light. Thank you for the joy you bring, for laughter, love, for everything. You are magic, pure and bright. You are my heart, my guiding light. I love you, oh my dear inner child. You are safe, I'm always near. I see you now, I know your word.
And as you take that breath and let it go, bring your attention back to this time and space. I won't make you do it again, I promise. And if tears flowed, that's part of the process. That's part of what we've been trying to hold back and not look at or ignore, and this is part of the healing process. Saying I'm sorry, and in the context of this, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you are hurting or in pain, is the very practice of compassion. And sometimes we can be very generous with others in extending that compassion. But we first must give it to ourselves, and especially to that young child. Letting that process simply mirror back into us what still needs to be healed is the most direct path to ultimately healing it. I've learned, as Jane Simmons in her book that we've been using as our guide for these last several weeks, entitled You Can't Sleep Through Your Awakening, writes, it's important to feel the compassion surrounding your younger self. Not just to think about it, but to feel it, to let him or her feel the love, the safety, the comfort, and the security that you, as an adult, can now provide. You have become the parent for your own inner child. And when that younger self feels safe, they will melt into your heart and integrate into your psyche. And you will feel, ultimately, a new sense of wholeness, because now there's not just parts of you, there is the wholeness alive within you. And for those of you who didn't have a chance to get a book, they've also gifted us some more workbooks. So if this is something you'd like to work and do this work on your own, we do have some books for sale, and you just get a free workbook if you go buy one. So it's a great process to go and dive in if it feels like this is something that you're ready to explore in your own world. And as we do this inner healing, it makes the path to forgiving others a little easier. The more we can forgive ourselves, the greater the capacity we have to forgive others. And if you think that some actions or some people are simply unforgivable, ponder the demonstration that Jesus, the example he gave to us around forgiveness. With his last words, with his very last breaths, as he lay dying, nailed to a cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That same Christ DNA that fueled his ability to forgive lives in each of us. And so our work is to call upon our inner Christ when those voices that says they don't deserve to be forgiven. I can't, it's too hard. The pain and the hurt that they have caused is not something I can ever let go of. When those things block your efforts, remember that you have the capacity just as Jesus did. You were made from the same God DNA that Jesus was made from. And just be willing. Sometimes that's all we have to do, is just be willing. What's worked well for me in those situations where I find myself up against something that seems unforgivable, at least to my human mind, is to remind myself, and this is the ultimate, the ego, it's very self-centered, so I have to remind myself that I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me. Forgiving doesn't let them off the hook. It doesn't even necessarily change or heal them. The prisoner that is really set free is me, is you. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this community. In just a few moments, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row. You can place your gift in one of the larger baskets, and then because we want to be in this flow of giving and receiving, you can pick up an affirmation in the smaller basket to bless you this week. And even if you give electronically or this is not your Sunday to share, you can come and be in that flow of giving and receiving. You can simply place your hand over the basket, add your energy to it, or there's little cards that say, I give online. You can add those into the basket too. We are grateful for all of the good that we receive in our ministry. We're celebrating, as Grant mentioned last week, that we are under $1,000 now to pay off our line of credit, knowing it's going to happen this month, and we're just grateful for all the good and the ways that it blesses us. So we take what we offer today into our hands and into our hearts and bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God. Let's sing our peace song. Yeah, we'll invite you to stand.
Join hands.
Join hands. And so as we go into this week, seeking to see life through the eyes of God, through the compassion of God, the mercy of God, the love of God, and we go into this week knowing our prayer for protection, we'll do it as a call and response. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. Are big Florida Gator fans, so